Calaroga Shark Media. Hello and welcome to Ghost. This episode is titled The Haunting of Blackwood House.
In the quiet suburban town of Blackwood, nestled amidst a thick forest, there stood a dilapidated house that had long been abandoned by its former owners. The house had a sinister reputation, and its decaying facade and overgrown garden only added to its eerie presence. Locals whispered stories of strange occurrences, of unsettling noises that emanated from within, and of a ghostly apparition that was said to haunt the attic. It was on a moonless night, during a particularly fierce thunderstorm, that the house's new occupants, the Anderson family, moved in. Ignoring the rumors and the warnings of the townsfolk, they saw the aging structure as an opportunity for a fresh start. John Anderson, a skeptical engineer, his wife Emily, and their two young children, David and Lily, were determined to make the house their own. From the moment they crossed the threshold, an unsettling feeling settled upon them. The air within the house felt heavy and oppressive, and strange, unexplainable sounds echoed through the halls, but it was in the dead of night when the true horrors began. As the storm raged outside, the Andersons were jolted awake by a loud and persistent pounding that seemed to come from above. It was as if someone or something was in the attic, desperately trying to break free. The sound was relentless, a cacophony of terror that reverberated through the house. John, the skeptic, ventured into the attic, armed with a flashlight. The attic was a dusty, cobweb-covered space filled with forgotten relics of the past. But there, in the dim light of his flashlight, he saw her, a spectral figure, ghastly and translucent. Her eyes bore into his soul, filled with anguish and torment. "Get out!" she hissed, her voice a chilling whisper that sent shivers down his spine. "Get out before it's too late." Terrified, John retreated from the attic, his heart pounding in his chest. He gathered his family and shared the harrowing encounter. Emily, initially skeptical like her husband, could no longer deny the supernatural presence that loomed over their new home. Desperate for answers, the Andersons sought the guidance of the local priest, Father Michael. He was a seasoned exorcist, well-versed in battling the forces of darkness. Father Michael arrived at the house, armed with faith and holy water, prepared to confront the malevolent spirit that had taken hold. As he ascended the creaking stairs to the attic, the air grew frigid, and a sense of foreboding washed over him. The attic door swung open with a deafening creak, revealing the spectral figure of the tormented spirit, her eyes filled with a sorrow that transcended the mortal realm. With a commanding voice, Father Michael began reciting prayers of exorcism, his words laced with unwavering faith. The spirit writhed and recoiled, her ethereal form contorting in pain, but she refused to yield, her whispers of warning growing louder and more desperate. "Get out!" she shrieked, her voice echoing through the attic. "This house is cursed! Leave now or you will suffer the same fate as I!" Father Michael, his voice resolute, began reciting prayers of exorcism as he confronted the malevolent spirit in the attic. The spectral figure, her eyes filled with anguish and torment, hissed at him with chilling desperation. The ghost warned, "Leave this place, priest. You do not understand the darkness that resides here." Father Michael replied, "In the name of the Holy Trinity, I command you to depart, foul spirit. You have no power here." The spirit recoiled at the sound of the priest's unwavering words, her ethereal form contorting in pain. She let out an agonized wail that echoed through the attic, but Father Michael pressed on. "By the authority granted to me, I cast you out from this house, from this realm. Begone! In the name of God. The struggle intensified, the attic becoming a battleground where the living and the dead clashed in a terrifying confrontation. The air grew frigid, and an otherworldly presence seemed to close in on Father Michael. But his faith remained unshaken. The ghost was undaunted. "You cannot save them, priest. This house is cursed. They will suffer as I have suffered." Father Michael fought back. "The power of faith compels you to release your grip on this family. Your torment ends now." As Father Michael continued to recite the prayers, the room seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. The ghostly apparition fought desperately, but the priest's words acted as a shield against the darkness that sought to consume them all. "I call upon the Archangel Michael, protector of souls, to banish you from this place. The light of heaven guides my hand." With a blinding flash of light and a deafening roar, the spirit was finally overpowered. She let out one last mournful cry, her form dissipating into nothingness. The attic fell silent, the oppressive atmosphere lifting, and a sense of peace settled over the house. Father Michael, panting and drained from the intense spiritual battle, turned to the Andersons with a reassuring smile. "The malevolent spirit has been banished, my friends. You are safe now." The Andersons, shaken but relieved, expressed their gratitude to the priest. Emily, tears in her eyes, embraced her husband and children. Emily said sheepishly, "Thank you, Father. We will never forget your bravery." "Is the ghost gone for good, Father?" Father Michael replied, "Yes, my child. With the power of faith and the grace of God, we have expelled the darkness that once dwelled here." As the Andersons left the house, they knew that they would carry the memory of that harrowing night with them forever. The priest who had confronted the malevolent spirit in the attic had saved them from a fate too dreadful to contemplate, and the house that had once been their refuge would forever be a place of haunting and inexplicable. They wasted no time in leaving the house, heedful of the ghostly warning. They would never know the full history of the tormented spirit in the attic, but they had learned that some houses held secrets that were best left undisturbed. The Andersons moved on, forever haunted by the memory of the house that had held a malevolent ghost in its attic, and the priest who had saved them from a fate too dreadful to contemplate.
Ghost is a Calaroga Shark media production, written and hosted by Alexander Ian McIntyre, produced by Mark Francis, executive producers Mark Francis and John McDermott. Calaroga Shark Media.